Hello and welcome back to CEO.CA. My name is James Fatham, and today I'm joined by Kai Hoffmann, CEO of the Soar Financial Group. Kai is also an independent director for Labrador Gold and Trifecta Gold, and most importantly, you may know him as the junior mining guy on Twitter. Kai, it's great to see you today.
James, thanks so much for having me on. It's a great pleasure.
So one of the many hats that you wear is as the organizer of the upcoming Deutsche Goldmesse conference in Frankfurt on the 3rd and 4th of May. Can you tell us a bit more about the backstory of this event that you founded? How has it evolved, and why should investors consider attending?
Absolutely. No, appreciate you asking. So Deutsche Goldmesse, we started in 2020, of course, during COVID. We've always wanted to do a physical event. Frankfurt and Germany seems a bit underrepresented to the investment community or within the investment community when it comes to mining conferences, and we carved out a little niche for us. Like, Deutsche Goldmesse is not a massive event, don't get me wrong. It's about 200 investors, 20 to 30 companies, so a high quality ratio of investors to companies. Smaller, it's not as big as a Beaver Creek conference, for example, and we want to keep it that way. Germany doesn't have a lot of fund managers, but it has phenomenal retail, high-end retail, finfluencers, and family offices and asset managers. And we wanted to get that community together, but also educate. We've done a lot of roadshows in the past through Germany, and one thing we've noticed is that there's a bit of a lack of education and maybe insights into the industry that we're in, and a bit of networking was missing as well. A lot of the Germans don't travel, so we had to bring the intelligence, the ideas, the companies to their doorstep, and they've been taking up really, really well. We're doing now our 7th in person in Frankfurt, this, as you said, May 3rd and 4th, and we've been growing slowly but steadily ever since. We've had more investors attend, word is spreading, we've put a quality program on. As I said, focus is really educating and sharing some really knowledgeable or intelligible market insights with our audience.
And in terms of programming, what can investors expect if they attend the conference?
So this time around, we'll have 20 companies attend, and we'll 6 keynotes, 2 panels. Brian London, Lobo Tigre, Jeff Clark, Eric Strand, a Swedish fund manager, Joanna Ponica, she's an up-and-coming rising star in our mining industry. She's a geologist, economic geologist, focused a lot on nickel, but tries to apply some of the oil and gas exploration techniques in mining, and has some tremendous success doing so. Somebody I definitely want to listen to, and I'll definitely spend 30 minutes of my day listening to the presentation. You might have noticed there's a lot of North American newsletter writers coming out, because our German audience, the market is very limited in terms of newsletter writers and intelligence in Germany, and we're trying to enhance that. We're bringing them out. They're there for Q&A. They're there for 2 days, so you can interact with them because they're close to the companies. And one particular highlight I saved for last here is a good friend of mine. He's Marcos Busla. He'll join me for a fireside chat as the opening keynote. 30 minutes, we'll dive deep into the exploration sector. He's a journalist for Der Aktionär, Germany's largest financial magazine, and he covers their mining stocks and the commodity space for them. Really looking forward to that. And as I said, 20 companies, Equinox Gold, Fireweed Metals, Arizona Metals, just to name a few. Victoria Gold's coming out. So we have producers, we have explorers, any type of size, 2.7 billion market cap down to 5 million market cap. There's something there for everybody and for every development stage.
Great, thank you for that insight into the programming and a little bit of an overview. There was something you touched on there that I'd like to follow up on. You mentioned your coverage in terms of your newsletter writers and analysts, a lot heavier in North America as compared to Germany. Could you give us, are there any other key differences between the German retail market and the North American retail market that we should be aware of? And why is it important for maybe North American or TSXV listed companies to also have a presence in Frankfurt?
Oh, absolutely. No, German retail investors are phenomenal mining investors, and we have to go back in history a little bit to maybe understand that how that came about. But 1919 to 1923, we've seen massive hyperinflation in Germany and in the Weimar Republic, and gold protected you back then. Your money was worthless, but gold could protect you. So Germans love gold. It's imprinted in our DNA pretty much from the early 20th century here, and mining stocks are just that extension. So some of them are degenerate gamblers, and they chase trends, but a lot of them are loyal investors. And I've seen a study somewhere that Germans stay stay loyal to a company, even if they buy in and out 4 times a year into the same stock, it is the same stock they keep buying. And that what makes it makes a big difference that Germans are potentially more loyal than maybe Canadian shareholders to their holdings. Is that the right thing to do? That's a good question, but it shows that they're following stories, they're following closely, and we see it at our conference as well. Our investors, they come out prepared, they know what is happening, they come with pre-written questions for the mining CEOs, and that shows a lot of sophistication that I haven't seen elsewhere really. Like even if you go to any of the other bigger shows in North America, it is pitch me. That's what the investors say to the companies, but they rarely show up with prepared questions, and I'm quite proud of that.
So I want to take a quick step backwards. It's an exciting backdrop for the conference this year, given the really strong commodity market so far in 2024. Can you give your perspective? Why do you think we've had such an exciting start to the year?
Oh, your guess is good as mine, to be quite honest, when it comes to speculating how well the gold price has performed and why it is where it is. As we're speaking, I think it's 23.25. Phenomenal price development. We're up roughly 20% for the year. Ever since March, the price has rallied. Investors and investor excitement is coming back slowly. We're seeing that in our Ornig index, another hat I'm wearing, by the way, where we track financings in the junior mining space, and we can see that the activity has picked up. We're far still from exuberant and frothy, which is great. We're seeing a lot of bigger financings happening, meaning the larger companies, the later stage developers, are raising capital, significant amounts of capital, which is good because they put the money in the ground, they put it to work, they create value, and that's exactly what I want to see out of this space. Smaller companies, early stage explorers, still struggling unless they have an exceptional management team, and they haven't really profited from the gold price rally yet, nor have the stocks, quite honestly. Before our conversation, I double checked what I'm saying here, but the HUI, the GDX, the GDXJ, on a 12-month basis, they're still down, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yes, we're trading up perhaps year to date, but who has bought year to date? Like, who has bought in the last 3 months? A lot of our investors in the mining space, junior mining space, have been hodlers, quite literally. They've been holding stocks and investments for a while in this space, so they haven't really, bought the dip per se, but they've been holding for a while. So they're still just barely breaking even, if at all, and I'm not sure if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but it shows that we're still far from exuberance, still far from euphoria. I'm personally still pessimistic, or cautious. Pessimistic is the wrong word. I'm not pessimistic. I'm cautious when it comes to like price outlooks and where is this all trending? And I'm just waiting for it to show me the trend, quite literally, because I've been punched in the mouth too many times being here in junior mining. Like, it's 15 years now for me, and I've seen so many false starts, and I'm still waiting for that true breakout. Yes, the signs are there. It is looking positive on all fronts. I need to see it to believe it.
So, even as a cautious investor, where are you looking right now in terms of opportunities across the sector? You mentioned that equities, especially junior mining equities, are maybe not reflecting the rises or the gains we've seen in the underlying commodities. Are there any particular sectors you're looking at personally?
Personally, I like the gold developers, companies that might go into production here in the next 6 months, 12 months, because they will be benefiting from the higher gold price, because all their studies have been done at lower levels. Problem is, they've had issues building their mines. They've had cost overruns, inflation, wage inflation. Input materials have exploded, of course, as well. So you have to weigh your options there carefully, but those are the ones that will probably benefit the most. I haven't seen a Barrick perform at all, like a Newmont. They've come out with shoddy numbers for the quarter. Barrick is disputing or is having issues in Mali. A 600,000 ounce gold producer, or their gold mine might be taken away in Mali. That's could be a massive hit, taking them from 4 million down to 3.4 million ounces a year in production. That is huge. So I look for opportunities elsewhere, because I'm not chasing dividend yields. I don't care about a 2.3% dividend yield in a Newmont, for example. I'd rather go downstream. I look at the developers that are about to go into production. Ascot comes to mind just because they announced it earlier this week. Massive milestone. A lot of companies, or everybody wants to achieve first pour. Barely anybody gets there. So those are the stories that I like to look at, and their share price has appreciated decently in recent months. So that's where I seek the opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just to wrap up, Kai, is there anything else that we should know about the upcoming conference in Frankfurt?
Yeah, absolutely. You might see I'm sitting in a hotel room here. So lighting is a bit shoddy. I'm currently in Arizona. I'm on a site visit. I'm visiting 2 of the companies that will be attending Deutsche Goldmesse, and that is something that sets us apart potentially from other conferences as well. We're very hands-on. A lot of the companies that are coming out, we know them personally. We've either broken bread with them, we shared a beer, it's mining after all, or we've been to site, and that makes a difference. So a lot of the companies are hand-picked, and we have a personal touch to it. So there's a community aspect to it as well, and it's just a different approach to things. So I think that's another key takeaway, maybe a unique selling point for the conference for investors, but also for companies to attend, because it is different. And you'll see when you come to Frankfurt, it is a different beast than maybe some of the other conferences that you know. Really proud of it, what we've built. We've been getting some fantastic feedback. I'm looking to continuing, and a couple of weeks' time, we'll know where we're at.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be certainly an exciting event. Lots of great programming, lots of companies and investors attending. Kai, thank you so much for joining us today.
James, thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it.